Captain Doodle here. Do you guys ever wonder how a fire department puts out a house fire and with how many firefighters? You probably think, dummy, it's probably just one guy in one fire truck. I know, it seems so simple, but let's dig in and get in the weeds with their process. Most fire department in a large city have what's called SOPs or SOGs that they follow when putting out a house fire. SOP, SOG, you ask? It stands for Standard Operating Procedures or Standard Operating Guidelines. These are written procedures or guidelines that is outlined and followed by all personnel when dealing with a problem like a house fire. This is not something that they follow to a T, since not all incidents are the same, but it puts all personnel on the same page in the fireground. Over the many years that the fire department has been fighting fires or mitigating incidents, they've learned that these SOPs or SOGs have kept them generally safe and accounted for. It also keeps a single person from freelancing and just doing whatever the hell he or she wants to do, screwing things up and getting themselves hurt or worse, dead. Now that that's out of the way, let me explain this step by step for the typical procedure or guideline on handling a house fire. Let's start with the numbers. In a reported single house fire, the 911 lady will respond one alarm, which consists of 4 engines, one truck, one rescue, and one battalion chief. That's a total of 23 firefighters. Let's break it down a bit more. One engine has 4 firefighters with 3 different ranks, 2 firefighters in the back seat, one driver operator or engineer in the driver's seat, and a captain on the passenger seat. All the ranks has the same roles and responsibilities, with the engineer having more than the firefighters and the captain having more than the engineers. The higher ranks just have more training. So an engine crew of 4 is called an engine company. So if you add that up, that's 16 firefighters so far for the 4 engine companies. One fire truck or a truck company is the same as the engine company. They have 4 guys, 2 firefighters, one engineer, and one captain. That's 20 firefighters so far. One rescue with 2 firefighters. One of them is usually a paramedic. There's one in every unit, rig, or apparatus, or whatever you want to call them. That makes 22. One battalion chief, or BC for short, has one guy who happens to hold the rank of chief. So now we're at 23 physical bodies fighting one house fire. Now let me emphasize that this is for a typical response and not the same for every fire department. The numbers will vary based on SOPs or SOGs and their CBA or collective bargaining agreement. Basically, that's the fireman's contract. Now, if it's a large fire or something unexpected happens, they may add more units. So those numbers will go up. But let's just say in our scenario, this is a normal run of the mill house fire and everything is going to go really well with no hiccups. Okay, now let me set up the scenario. It's 10 p.m., and some of the Smith family are winding down for the night in their spacious single story home. Dad is chilling in the garage and watching a little TV. In the meantime, little 5-year-old Timmy is in his room playing with matches that he found in the junk drawer. Everyone else is asleep. Fire breaks out. Timmy runs to Dad in the garage and tells him about this sweet ass fire he just started in his room. Dad gets everyone out of the house and runs to Old Man Wither's house across the street, who then calls 911 and reports a house across the street on fire. The 911 lady on the other end of the line types this in her computer, and the computer decides to respond fire crews to a single alarm house fire based on what Old Man Withers told the 911 lady. A single alarm consists of 4 engines, one fire truck, one rescue, and a BC, as I've explained earlier. Most likely, the computer will alert 3 or 4 fire stations that is closest to Timmy's house. At least 23 guys will be pissed off that the movie they were watching, The Notebook, is interrupted. Anger will quickly turn to elation when they learn that the call is for a fire and not a medical call. These dudes love fighting structure fires. Most of them will run to the rig and get turned out, or in lay terms, put on their fire suits. 6 fire apparatuses will then race to the house to put the fire out. Now, obviously, one of these rigs will get there first, or in technical terms, first in. It will most likely be an engine company. Let's call them Engine 1. The Engine 1 captain will likely know that they'll be there first after he sees the information on his computer. He will also know that every company will try to get there first for bragging rights. Mind you, I'm trying to keep this explanation simple. There's a lot more to it, but I want to keep this video around 15 minutes. When Engine 1 arrives to the reported address, the captain will announce on the radio that they're at the right address and confirm that the house is on fire. And most importantly, that he's in charge. He is now command. No one does anything unless command tells them to. He's the absolute authority on the scene. If you don't do exactly as he says, you're in deep shit later, and everyone in the fire department will know about it. He will give a brief report on the radio so that everyone that is responding and listening will be able to paint a picture in their mind of what's happening on the fire scene. It'll sound something like this. Engine 1 has arrived, establishing Elm Command. We have a single story house with smoke and flame showing out of a front window. We are pulling hose lines for an offensive attack. We also have a water supply. Next in engine will be fire attack with my 2 firefighters. Okay, so let me translate that in simple terms. What he's saying is, I'm here first, you slow turds, and I'm in charge. You're all going to call me Elm Command or just Command. I added Elm to Command since the house is on Elm Street. The house is on fire, and the fire looks big enough to break the window in front of the house, and it's probably only in one room, since I don't see fire anywhere else. We have plenty of water for this fire since we hooked up to a fire hydrant on the way in. Whoever gets here next, your task is to go in and put the fire out with our hose from our engine and take my 2 firefighters with you. I'm going to call you Fire Attack from now on, and you will call yourself that when you talk to me on the radio. Engine 2 gets there next, stops behind Engine 1 and tells command on the radio. Engine 2 has arrived and copies Fire Attack with your 2 firefighters. Engine 2 is basically saying, Engine 2 is here, and I understand that you want us to go inside the burning house that everyone just ran out of. Put the fire out and babysit your 2 firefighters that already pulled the hose for us from your engine. I'm going to call myself Fire Attack from here on out. Okay, so let's see what we have so far. 2 engines have arrived. Engine 1 with 4 guys is first in. The captain is in charge. His engineer has connected to the hydrant and going to operate the pump on the engine. 2 firefighters are waiting to go in with Engine 2's crew of 3. Why 3 and not 4? Well, his engineer is going to help Engine 1's engineer. That's now 8 guys busy doing something. Right about now, Engine 3 is pulling in behind Engine 2 and tells Command he's on scene. Command, Engine 3 has arrived. Command copies, Engine 3 RIT, Secure Utilities. Translation. Engine 3, sorry to give you a shit assignment, but I want your crew to shut off the electricity to the house. Then sit there and be ready to rescue our guys inside the burning structure if shit hits the fan. Okay, Command, I copy. I am now Rapid Intervention Team, or RIT for short. Thanks for giving me this assignment where we sit, wait, and watch almost everyone go in the burning building and have fun. Right about now, Rescue 1 is coming around the corner and gets on the radio. Rescue 1 has arrived. Command copies. Rescue 1. Fire medical. Translation. Good. The rescue is here. Just get out of the way and be ready to treat any firefighter with any medical issues that come up. And make sure your rig is not blocked in case you have to transport a firefighter to the hospital. Truck 1 is right behind Rescue 1, since they came from the same fire station. Waits for Rescue 1 to get his assignment from command, then keys the mic on the radio and says, Truck 1 has arrived. Command copies. Truck 1 on scene. Ventilation. Coordinate with fire attack. Truck 1 copies. Ventilation. Coordinate with fire attack. Here's a translation, guys. Okay, you guys in the truck, grab your saw or fan and find a good spot to park your big ass rig, then coordinate with fire attack and initiate the best way to remove the smoke and heat from the house. Command. Us truckies understand the assignment you gave to us to ventilate the structure and to make sure I work together with fire attack. All right, now if you're keeping track, that's now 18 guys on the fire ground. 3 engines, 1 truck, and 1 rescue. The last engine pulls up, pulls the parking brake, and keys the mic. Command. Engine 4 has arrived. Command copies. Engine 4 search. Engine 4 copies search. Translation. Engine 4, you are now called search. Go inside the house and search every square inch of it for any potential victims and let me know if you find any and rescue them. Pets included. Do it twice just in case. Search is saying, Engine 4, I understand the assignment. I am now search. I understand that you want us to do a thorough search of the entire structure for any victims. That's now 22 on the fire scene. At this point, the last unit pulls in and says over the radio, Battalion 1 is on scene. Copy, Battalion 1. IC is in Engine 1. Report for a face-to-face. Translation? Okay, Chief, I hear you. Walk your butt over to me for a change. I'm inside Engine 1, so I can tell you what's going on and who's doing what face-to-face. Then you can decide if you want to take over the scene or let me keep doing what I'm doing. If the BC decides to let the captain finish running the scene as the incident commander, he'll continue to make or change assignments of the crews as the incident evolves. Everyone will stay on scene until the fire is extinguished, everyone is accounted for, and all the companies complete their tasks. This is how it's supposed to run if everything goes well. Let's recap. 6 fire vehicles with 23 firefighters will respond to a reported single house fire in which the first arriving officer takes charge and give assignments to each crew to ensure life safety, stabilize the incident, and conserve property. Hopefully, I've shed some light with what these brave men and women do when responding to a house fire. Do you think they make it more complicated than it has to? Or do they do a fine job and just needs to keep doing what they're doing? Let's discuss it in the comments below. This is my first video, so go easy on me. Let me know if I suck or what I can do to make it better. Please like, subscribe, and share. It seems like overkill with 23 firefighters and 6 fire vehicles to put out one single house fire, but the shit's hard work.